Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh, which is the Most High, and all praises due to Yahweh Shai, which is the Son of the Most High, and the deliverer of the elect of the nation of Israel and the whole nation of Israel. Um, Double honors to the apostle elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Um, Shalom to the Akim that's doing his truth and sincerity and not for vain glory, in season and out of season. Because the winter shall be here soon enough. It's going to get cold, you know. And, there's no excuse not to go out. All right? It's all fun and it's all well and fun, when it's warm outside. But when it gets cold, we still got to go out. It's like the scriptures say, the sluggard shall complain. The sluggard shall not plow by reason of the cold. All right? So, so let me go right into these scriptures. I want to go into 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter and the 17th verse. It says, woe is me. 2nd Esdras 16 chapter and the 17th verse. Woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Okay? And this is the beloved prophet of Yahweh Shai, or the prophet Esdras. And he's saying this, man. Okay? So that's why the scriptures say, work out your soul salvation with fear and trembling. All right? We're not supposed to be proud in this truth, man. Because the scriptures say, those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And we ain't there yet. There's much more death and much more destruction to come. All right? So we got to be humble in this thing, in this truth, man. And humble before Yahweh Shai. And being humble before Yahweh Shai is doing what he told us to do in this Bible, man. All right? So, woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? And that's the same way how I feel, man. And I'm sure the brothers do too. And I'm sure the apostles and the elders and the brothers, man. Who shall deliver me in those days, man? These days that's coming up is great death and great destruction. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Okay? Yeah, it is the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. They had that earthquake over there in Mexico. All right? A whole lot of people died. They said, what, about 200 people? And I'm sure there's more, because the news don't report every damn thing, man. All right? They show them out there with the buildings collapse. You had this little girl that was trapped in a building, and they couldn't get her out. So they had to give her water through the cracks and the rubble and the rocks of the building being collapsed. Okay? So a lot of people died, man. Okay? You got there in H-Town, all right, in Houston. You had the hurricanes. You had the hurricanes on the islands, man. Some islands just got wiped out completely. They had to evacuate. They had to evacuate the whole island of Barbuda, man. All right? St. Croix, St. Vincent. All right? So the Most High is bringing that sorrow, the beginning of sorrow, man. All right? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Yeah, man, because people die. All right? And it's going to be more death and more destruction. By who? By Yahweh Shai. All right? The beginning of sorrows. Yeah, and then you had the Issacharite woman up there crying, man. She had tears in her eyes. Saying she wanted to see the kids. Where all the kids at? Well, the kids are buried under rubble, man. All right? It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine. Now, you know what's happening over there in Venezuela, man. What's been going on for a couple of years now. You got people eating cockroaches, man. You got people eating cats. People online waiting for food. People stealing and robbing and murdering each other for food. That's what's going to come over here to America, man. So these are beginnings of these things. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. All right? 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to get great death, man. All right? The beginning of wars. Yeah. And the power shall stand in fear. Well, you see what's happening with North Korea and America. All right? They're about to go to war. They're talking war, man. Trump is talking, look, we're going to bring down death and destruction and fire on you like the world has never seen. And then the Kim dude from North Korea, he's talking about wiping America off the face of the earth with his nuclear missiles. All right? The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. Eve meaning time, and ill meaning bad. So bad times. All right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? So it's time to have faith, man. Okay? We got to have faith in Yahweh Yahushua, and we got to do the work of Yahweh Yahushua. Do the shows, come out and speak, teach, and speak, and prophesy, man. That's the main thing, these prophecies. Because Yahushua said the word of the Lord is prophecy. All right? Paul said that we all should pray to prophesy, man. All right? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And that's why the Most High is bringing these things, man, on the earth. Because all these scourges are set to make amendment of what the wickedness is going on in the earth, man. All right? With the so-called white man and his wickedness, and 2/3 of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and their wickedness, man. Faggots and lesbians praising the Caesar Borgias as being the Lord, as being a so-called white man. All right? Saying that the Lord is a so-called white man, bowing down to that image, man. All right? Robbing, stealing, committing adultery, taking drugs, everything under the sun, man. Breaking all the laws of Yahweh Yahushua. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right? And that's going to come over here to America. It ain't just going to be Venezuela, man. All right? It's going to be America, the whole United States of America, man. All right? That's what's coming. It says, but for all these, it says, are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So, even though that earthquake hit down there in Mexico, even though they're starving over there in Venezuela, even though the hurricanes came and damn near blew all them little West Indian islands off the map and brought death and destruction, them niggas still ain't gonna change, man. They ain't gonna stop being wicked, man, until the Most High just takes them out, man. All right? That's why the scriptures say 2/3 shall be cut off and die therein, man. All right? They still gonna praise the so-called white man as Jesus Christ. They're gonna say that Jesus Christ is a so-called white man. Hell, you got niggas saying that, man. All right? G-Man, and a whole lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right? It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. They ain't going to be mindful of the scourges, man. All right? Let me go to another scripture. This is Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, and the 14th verse. No. I'll start at 13. Ezekiel 8 and 13. He said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Yeah, and that's 2/3 of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's why the Most High sending hurricanes and earthquakes down there, man. All right? Because they're committing great abominations against Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Abomination means a filthy, wicked act. All right? It says, he said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, and, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat woman weeping for Tammuz. Okay, so you had the Israelite women weeping for Tammuz, man. Just like they're doing down there in Mexico. They got the picture of Caesar Borgias up in them churches, man. They got the picture of the Lord being a so-called white man up in their houses, man. They're weeping for Tammuz, man. So the Lord is bringing that death and destruction upon them. And that's an abomination unto the Lord. And if you know, Tammuz is supposed to be the son of Semiramis and Nimrod, man. Semiramis and Nimrod had a son, and his name was Tammuz. And that's what so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are praying to the same very day. Okay? All right? So just let me show you brothers a picture of how they go inside these Catholic churches. They did it back in the ancient world, and they're doing it now. All right? All right? That's supposed to be Semiramis and Tammuz. Now, don't they praise this in the Catholic Church? Yes, they do. And they're going to continue to praise it until the Lord brings death and destruction upon them. And with that, brothers, shalom.